Some people, them envy you, follow you on Insta just to pre you, the way that go chat.
Hey, my beautiful danties, how are you all doing today? So I know my setup is a little different today. This will be my actual first story time. Actually, I'm lying. My first story time was when I was telling you guys about my crazy neighbor. That's a long time. I think that was like early last year or so, 2 years ago something. So today is different because, honey, I don't even know how to start. I don't even know where to start because your girl, I've gone through a lot in the hands of men, older men. When I was younger, when I was in my teenage years, oh my god, I went through so freaking much with guys, with men. I should say, not guys, even guys too. Not like I was raped or anything, or like, not that I was like heartbroken or anything, because no, but sexually I've been through a lot with men, older men. Yes. I'm just thankful to God because I don't know how I'm still here. I don't know how I've not turned into like a hooker or a street worker, or like, you know what I mean, like, honey. And thank God for Jesus, because if without him I don't know where I would have been, because I've been through so much. And this particular one I'm about to tell you, I'm going to tell you a whole lot of them as I remember them. I will tell you, but today I'm going to tell you about the one whereby I was sexually molested by my youth pastor. And this was about, I think I was I in SS2? SS2, I'm sorry, if you're not African, you probably don't know what SS2 means. But honestly, I live in Canada and I really don't know how the school system works or what it's called. I'm not sure if it's grade 10, because I was about to graduate high school, like a year to graduate high school. So what would you call that? Grade 10? See, I'm dumb. I don't know. I think I really need to find this out. But because I didn't go to high school here in Canada, I went to high school in Nigeria. So I don't know. So it was like a year for me to finish high school. Was it a year? Or probably a year or probably 2 years. So what do you call that here in the States and in Canada? Like, is that great? Please help me in the comments down below, please. I used to go to this particular church when I was back home. I'm a Christian. I'm still a Christian. But way back then, my mom, oh my god, she's a prayer warrior. I love that woman. I don't know what I would have done without her. That woman is a prayer warrior, okay? So she used to go to this, we used to go to this church whereby it's a hot fire church where they pray hard. No, I think you're allowed to wear earrings and jewelries, but it's really minimal. Like those fire, it's not MFM, it's like one of those like really hot church, like they're hot for the Lord. You think everyone there is holy, like those that are burning for God. I'm not gonna mention that church right now because I don't want to put anyone in trouble. I'm just sharing a story with you guys. Because my parents are not together, right? My mom and my dad are not together. So I used to live with my mom. Anyway, we used to go to this church and we did like I don't know, yeah, like in every church, you know, you have the church, you have the youth department, you have the children department, and all of that kind of departments, right? So this church, obviously I was a teenager then, so I was in the youth department, and then we had the youth pastor who was in charge, right? So I used to go to the youth meeting. All of a sudden I realized that this pastor started taking interest in me. That usually happens with first timer. If you're a first timer in the church, they'll give you special attention, you know what I mean? So this was my first time attending the youth meeting, so I thought it was just a regular thing. This has been like almost 20 years ago, guys. Yeah, almost 19 years ago, so the memory is really faint, but the particular thing that happened, it's fresh in my memory. This church wasn't too far away from where I lived. It was like 15 minutes walk from where I live. But then this youth pastor, I realized that he lived really close to me, like 5 minutes walk, guys. When my mom realized that he lived close to us, she was happy. Anyways, so I wasn't doing too good in school. I think she kind of saw a father figure in him, and she saw how this youth pastor liked me, you know, he said I'm like his daughter. And so my mom was like, oh, there's a father figure, you know, she didn't see anything wrong with that. I mean, you shouldn't see anything wrong with it, especially with that kind of church. and this is the body of Christ. Like, you'll be like, your child is saved, obviously. So whenever I did anything wrong, my mom will report me to this youth pastor every time. So around this time, like I said, my grades weren't good, so she went to report me to this pastor, and then she went to tell him that I wasn't listening to her and blah blah blah. So in the evenings, this pastor told me, this youth pastor, it wasn't the main pastor of the church, because the main pastor of this church was a good man. He's a godly man. I mean to my extent, I mean, like what I see. I mean, I don't really know what's going on behind closed doors, but from when I see the main pastor of this church, he's a good man. But this youth pastor apparently has his own mission. So that particular day, after my mom reported me or whatever, she came back to tell me that, oh, Pastor so-and-so told me to come see him in his house. And by the way, this pastor, he's married. At that time, I think he had like 2 kids. Young kids, really. I think they were like between 4 or 5 or 6. Like, it's the memory about, it's so faint, but what I went through is fresh in my mind, like I said. Anyway, and they were living in this face-to-face, oh my gosh, if you're not Nigerian, you don't know what I'm talking about. It's like a face-to-face apartment. Face-to-face means like your apartment, you basically have an apartment in a row and you're facing another person that rented the other side. I know I make no sense, but please, if anybody, if you're Nigerian and you know what I'm talking about, please explain it down in the comments box down below, because I don't know how to explain it. But it's kind of like, it's basically kind of like the apartments now too in Canada or in the US. Like, you know, you have apartments in rows and you have your neighbor that's facing you, except in this scenario is you're more intimate, because like you share the same bathroom and you share the kitchen, right? So it's a little more intimate back home, like, than here. When you have your apartment, you have everything in your apartment, so you can mind your own business, you know what I mean? First time I went to his house, I think his wife was home. So anyway, he told me to come outside. I went outside and we sat in front of his veranda. It's kind of like a balcony, but not really a balcony, you know what I mean? Because a balcony is like segregated, right? But in front of this building anyways, it was in front of his living room, because that's how the buildings were built. Then the living room first, and then your room, and then the other room. So we went because his wife was home. That night was at night too. So like I said, his house wasn't far, so my mom allowed me to go there, and like obviously I'm going to see a pastor, so that's fine. So we sat in front of we sat in the balcony, and then he spoke to me like, how am I doing in school, how is school and everything. And then we had a conversation. He told me that my mom came to report me. He quoted some Bible verses to me, and like I should be a good girl, blah blah blah. He encouraged me and everything. So then when I was leaving, he gave me some money. He gave me some, like, probably 40 naira. I don't remember how much, but he gave me some money. But I realized that when he was giving me that money, he was holding my hand like this, like he wouldn't let go. And it was so flipping awkward. And then when he was holding my hand like this, it was like rubbing my hand. Like, look at how burnt my hands are, guys. I swear, it's wrong to swear, forgive me. But I am not bleaching. I do not bleach. This is my natural color. But I'm not sure why my hands are burning like this. That is so ugly. I don't know, like that looks so wrong. But anyway, sorry for the distraction. You know when you hold someone's hand like this and then you begin to do this, like rubbing my hands together, and I didn't understand what was going on. Like, sir, well, I didn't really say that, but in my hand I'm like, sir, why are you rubbing my hand on like this and holding on to it, like doing this? Like, I don't understand. When I left, I forgot about it. Like, I mean, I still thought about it, but I was like, okay, whatever, maybe that's how he shows fatherly care. So I went home, everything was okay, and each time, like I said, I did anything wrong, my mom will report me to him or whatever. And then I would go to his house, he would talk to me again, and he would do this weird thing again and give me money. Anyway, so there was this time I went to his house, this time that I went, okay, no, and then sometimes when he sees me at church, and because our houses are not far either, so sometimes we kind of, when we go out, we kind of meet on the road, like, you know, when you see people that live close to you, right? We meet and it's like, oh, see me in my house tonight, this evening around 4 or something. This particular day I went to his house, his wife wasn't home. So he was sitting in this kind of couch like this, and he told me to sit at the edge of the couch like this. That was really too close for me. I felt iffy about it, but I was like, okay, I mean, he's a pastor, obviously. Like, I wasn't thinking any much of it, you know. But obviously, at that age, I knew what guys are capable of doing. I've had some experiences with guys, like, you know what I mean? So I do know when people are making sexual advances at you. Anyway, I sat here at the edge of the couch, and then he was like, he told me to bring my assignments book. I think it was math or whatever, because I sucked at math then. I'm way better at math than before now, oh gosh. But then I sucked at math. So he told me to bring my math book with me. I thought he was going to try and teach me, because I'm like, when do a pastor become a teacher? Okay, don't get it. But anyway, I took my math book to him, and then he told me to sit beside him to show him. So as I was showing him, I don't know, this guy, he kept looking at me. Like, he was like looking at me like this. And then he was like playing with my shirt, like something like, I don't know. And then I think he was like, am I wearing a bra or something? I don't remember what he said. So something along that line. Like I said, it's so faint. He said, am I wearing a bra? I'm like, yes. And then he's like, can I see? Like, so he did the side of my shirt like this. Sorry, I'm actually showing you my bra. But I'm like, I'm telling you how it happened. And then I did that, and then I was like, okay, I felt really awkward. And then he held my hand like this and started rubbing on my hand like this while I was showing him what was happening. And then before I know it, his hand was on my boobs. So I was like, daddy. And usually when people are older than you, then you call them daddy. So I was like, daddy, kind of like, you know. But I was too scared, because I was too scared to kind of challenge him. I was too scared to say anything. While he was doing this, he was still sharing the Bible with me, telling me to study, to make sure I study more, to make my mom proud, to make him proud, and blah 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 blah. After a while, I felt so uncomfortable, and I think around this time he knew that his wife came home early. I think we heard, as his wife was coming in, we heard her voice as he was walking into the building. So immediately he heard her voice, he got up from where he was sitting and told me to sit in the couch instead of sitting at the edge. So and then she came here, I greeted her. She was like, how am I and everything? I'm like, I'm fine. I only came to see daddy and came to check on the kids, and because daddy said I should come see him and everything. So and then plus she's the pastor's wife, so she's used to youth coming to the house to see this man, because like I said, he's a youth pastor. So obviously a lot of youth come to his house. Like sometimes when we have a question, we go to his house to visit him, to ask him questions. So they receive a lot of youth in their house. So she didn't think, I'm sure she didn't think anything of why I was there or anything, you know. So anyway, after a while, I was like, oh, thank you, sir. He shared the word of God with me. He prayed with me. I went home that night. I didn't tell my mom anything because I was scared as hell. I had it at the back of my mind that I really didn't want to go there anymore. So each time my mom told me to go there, I'd be like, I really didn't want to go there. I tried to work harder at school, and I tried to be good so that my mom won't have to report me no more, you know. So after a while, my mom wasn't gonna go and report me anymore, but I usually see him at church. Or then whenever he sees my mom, he tells my mom to tell me to come see him, that he wants to pray for me. So this particular time, he told my mom that I should come see him. No, he told me, actually, I think I met him at church. So he told me to come see him around 3 p.m. and make sure that like 2 times he told me to come see him, but then I didn't go. And then he reported me to my mom that he told me to come see him, but I didn't go, you know. And then sometimes when my mom told me, sometimes I tell her that I'm going to the pastor's place, but I never go there. I just play around and walk around the streets for like 15 or 10 minutes and then go back home and tell my mom, oh, he's not home. But at this particular time anyway, so my mom was like, so where have you been going all this while? And then I lied to her. I told her that, oh, when I go there, I knocked on the door, nobody opened, so I thought he wasn't home. So that's why I came back home. But I didn't really tell her what was going on. Anyway, this particular day, so he will stop reporting me to my mom. My mom reports me to him, he reports me to my mom. Like, what the heck, man? So this time I went this time, and I'm like, oh my god, please let his wife be home, please let him not act like a fool. I was really scared. Anyway, so I went to his house that particular day. He said he was gonna pray for me. So we went to his, there was no one home, it was the one at home. So he works too. I think that was after work, and that was after my school. So I went to his home. He started sharing the Bible as usual and everything like that. This time he wasn't actually touching me. He was sitting at the opposite side of the couch that I was sitting on, and he shared the word of God. He said he just felt like praying for me, and that he read, and then I asked me why I haven't been coming to visit, that I should always make sure I come to visit, you know, so that he could pray for me, and he loves me as a daughter and is proud of me because my mom said I was getting better at school, blah blah blah. So I was like really eager to leave. I was like, thank you sir, thank you sir. So I got up to leave. It was like 10 minutes after, because I wasn't, it was like, oh, are you gonna wait to eat? Are you gonna wait for mommy? I'm like, no sir, I'm about to go. I want to go do my homework. So it was like, oh, okay. So I was about to step out the house, the living room. He was like, oh, wait, let me give you some money. Like, he always gives me money. Like, it's not a lot of money, like probably 40 naira, 50 naira back then, something to just like buy like some goodies, like something to buy snacks. But then it's like the money is in the other room, and the other room, which is on the other side of the building, because like I said, he rented out the whole wing. But I think that other room, I think he calls it his prayer room or whatever. I don't know what he calls it. But he knows that even if his wife comes, she's not going to come into that room. She usually goes, because they'll have the room, they sleep in here. But I'm not sure what he really does with that other room. Maybe like a guest room, he said, or something. I don't know. But he said, but that money is in that other room, that I should follow him. No, he said, let me go get it. No, he said, let me go get it. So I waited at the door of the living room while he goes to the other side of the room to get the money. And then when he got in there, he started calling me. In my mind, I knew it was going down. Like, if I don't do something, this guy will probably rape me or something. I don't know. So I walked sluggishly. Like, at this point, I didn't respect him much at all. I was scared of him. I was like, ew, like, kind of, you know. I lost all my respect for him and everything. Whenever I see him in church, I just nod my freaking head. Like, people have no idea who this man is, and they call him a man of God. But who am I to judge, right? Anyways, so I sluggishly walked into the room that he was saying, and he was holding the $40 like this. And then I peeped through the door. Like, I didn't really want to go in. I just peeped through, like, sir. I answered him, and he's like, here is your money. And I thought he was just, I wanted him to just give it to me where I stand at the door, so I can grab the money and then run away. But this guy said, come in now, come in. It's okay, I'm not gonna bite you. Because he said in my local language, I'm Jenny. Like, and she started like saying good things too, like, good job, you're a good girl, you're a beautiful girl, your mom will be proud of you. And then I walked in because, you know, he said I should come and get the money. Immediately I took the money, and as I turned, he just grabbed me from the back and started like pressing my boobs. He was at the back, and then he was grinding on me from the back. Oh my god, I thought I was gonna die that day, because this is a man that I see as a father. This is a man that I see as a man of God. This is a man that I see as a role model to the youth in the church. This is a man that we go to for advice, or if any youth misbehave or whatever, this is a man they come to. Like, this man was a lot to me. I look up onto this man, and he was doing this to me at 14, or I think I was 14 or 15 then, or 16, because I think I finished high school at 16, 17. I think I was about to turn 17 when I was done with my high school. At 16 years old, this guy was in his 40s, I think, and he was doing this to me. And I started trying to like push his hand down so that I can move on, and he kept grinding on me and everything. And I started pushing him away so I can get out. I was so scared because I thought he was probably going to rape me or something. But I don't know what happened. I managed to like move his hand away, and I think I kept saying stop, stop sir, stop, stop, or something like that. I really don't remember what I was doing. And then ran out. And then I started crying on my way home. I cried myself on my way home because I just felt devoured. I felt naked. I felt molested. Like, I just didn't understand what was going on. My head was just messed up. Like, but that night when I go home, I was really quiet and sober, and she was asking what happened to me, and I was really sad. She was like, are you okay? But I didn't tell her anything that happened. I was like, I'm fine, but I was really sad. I cried myself to sleep that night, but I sleep in the living room, so she didn't know if I was crying or anything, you know. But after then, I stopped going to his place. Whenever my mom told me so many times to go to his place again, or he tells me to come see him, but I don't go. I will tell my mom I have homework, I have to study and blah blah blah. I stopped going to his place. And then this time my mom was like, I actually really have to go to his place, because I kept asking after me for my mom, and like he said he doesn't know why I stopped coming to his place, that he wants to pray for me or whatever. But I think I ended up telling my mom. I don't remember. I think we stopped going to that church too for whatever. I think we actually transferred to another church. We moved, and then my mom started going to MFM instead of that church, because I think that church was far from where we moved to. So I think my mom started going to another church. I started going to a different church, which is a church closer to me. I like this church that I used. Oh, this church that I transferred to again. The pastor there too did something, but I'll tell you guys in another video. I am not sure what it is with me and this man, but I promise you guys, I wasn't even that kind of girl. I wasn't a wayward girl. I used to cover up. I dressed properly. Like, it's not like I was the one inviting them or anything, because this is the world that we live in. If someone gets raped, if a girl gets raped this day, people will accuse the girl for dressing waywardly, or what did you wear that it's your fault that he raped you. Like, what is the world coming to? So that's why I'm kind of explaining myself now, so that you guys, people won't be like judging me. Then after that, she came back one day and told me that she saw that pastor, that he was walking like he had only one leg or something like that. Like, he was walking weirdly. Like, I think one of his leg got messed up or something, and then he told her that he had a terrible accident, and then he lost one of his leg or something like that. You know, they might have no other motive in mind, but because of what I've went through in my life, like, I always feel iffy getting closer to older guys. I just want to say, please be careful with your daughters. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying every man of God is like this. They're really amazing men of God out there. Amazing, good men of God, but only God knows who is truly serving him. And don't get me wrong, I'm still a Christian. I still respect men of God a lot. And we do forget that they're human beings. They're not God. They're not mini God. I think they fired him. I think they actually fired him from that church, because I heard a lot of bad things happen to him after. I think maybe they found out, I don't know, they fired him, and then he got into an accident, and I think his life basically fell apart. After many years after that happened, that my mom said she saw him. I have a lot of story to tell you guys. Like, you don't even understand. Like, I've gone through so much. I've gone through hell. This is my story, guys. I will not say more than just be careful with your baby girls. Just be careful with your teenager out there. I don't know who to really trust. Like, every one of us that says we serve God now, we're not really gonna know who is truthful, who really serve the Lord until the judgment day. Because all the people that we look up to, they're human. They can fall too. They can fall into temptations. Anyone can fall into temptations. Jesus was tempted. They said that he was a savior. That's why he didn't fall into temptation, you know. Just be careful with your daughters. Look out for them. Make sure, try to, like, I mean, you can't really control everything that's going to happen in people's life, but, you know, try and make sure you're doing your best, you know, for your teenager, or make sure you're more there for them. I really don't know what to say, but I'm sharing my story because to let you guys know that things like this happen. It happens. And if your daughter had told you, because I know how African parents can be so dramatic, if your daughter has told you something like this happened to her, some African parents might be like, lie, or maybe like, oh, don't ever say that to the man of God or something. I don't know, but I've had stories about where children reported things like this to their parents, and then they didn't believe them. More story times are coming, and I will see you guys in my next video. Oh, the tutorial for this hair is gonna be, search through my channel, or I'll put the link to the tutorial to this hair in the description box. And also this makeup look too is so pretty. I like it a lot. I can't stop looking at myself. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be looking here, but I kept looking here throughout this video. Please forgive me. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna upload first. If I uploaded this one first, then stay tuned for the makeup tutorial. Be careful, okay, because the world is trash. The world out here is crazy, and a lot of people that even call themselves men of good, and are not men of good, the 419 people or use people, like things like this happen to you, please share with your parents, share with your loved ones, because I couldn't share with my mom for a long time. I was holding this for a long time in my heart. Like, I was so hurt, I was so angry, I was so mad with my mom, because it really affected my relationship with my mom, because I'm like, why would you send me to a man like that? But obviously she didn't know, you know what I mean? But I was really mad at my mom. I was mad at myself for going there, that the second time this happened, that I didn't stop going there. Obviously, thank God he didn't rape me though. I'm so grateful he didn't rape me. But that is basically almost like raping somebody, because it was against my wish for him touching me like that. Stay tuned for more videos are coming. Thank you for watching. Until I see you next time, remember, life is what you make it. Hashtag always be happy. Hashtag positive vibes only. Until I see you next time, oh double.